kind of reviewing everything that went into last week in joint practices, is there something that you want to get out of this next week of joint practices that maybe you didn't get to do or accomplish this past week?
I actually felt really good about the schedule and the organization of joint practices. So much so that we're using a very similar format against the Jets this week. You know, I just got off the phone not too before practice with Coach Sala, and we worked some things out. So I really liked what we got out of that work against the Patriots, and looking to duplicate that this week.
Go ahead, Dave, and then Bo.
Hey, Nick, we obviously saw Jalen Hurts out there today. What have the last few days been like for him?
Yeah, just resting his body as you would with any illness, and getting himself back. He went through walkthrough yesterday, recovering his body, and obviously he was out there and slinging it around today at practice.
Bo, and then Tim McManus.
Hey, Nick, after watching the tape of the game on Thursday night, who stood out in a good way that maybe you didn't notice during the game?
I think really we didn't play well, as we all know, right? We didn't block well enough. We didn't tackle well enough. We didn't get off blocks well enough. We didn't catch well enough. We didn't teach our fundamentals well enough as coaches. And so, it wasn't pretty, as we all saw. And but through that, you still do see some performances that you like, and there was definitely that. In particular, I think a couple of the linebackers played well, and I thought a couple of the tight ends played well.
Go ahead, Tim, and then John Clark.
Nick, with Jalen not able to go in the preseason game on Thursday, has it changed your calculus at all about this upcoming preseason game as it applies to playing him and maybe a couple of the other starters?
Again, that's going to be something that we evaluate every day. We're going to get we got a great practice today, a very high energy, competitive practice today in our indoor facility that we just got out of. And then obviously tomorrow's a travel day, a walkthrough day, and a travel day for us. And then we're going to get 2 really good practices against the Jets. So that's just something that we're going to continue to evaluate. Again, like I said, for the past couple games, I'd hate to give you an answer and then it not play out. So that's something that's under constant evaluation. We're going to see how the work goes against the Jets and make a decision after that.
Go ahead, John, and then Zach.
Hey, Nick, 3 weeks from today, you're going to open your season. And a lot of the young guys talk about the details with which you teach them, not only on the field, but in the meeting rooms and stuff like that. Are the young guys and Jalen Hurts with the offense where you want them to be at this point in the preseason, heading into the last 3 weeks, getting ready?
I think you're always going to be like, especially when you're not ready to play, you're not playing tomorrow, right, or playing today. You're always going to be like, hey, we got more work to do. We got more work to do. We got more work to do. And I think that's anybody that's in a growth mindset is going to think that way. So, and that's what we are. We want to get better every day, and our success is not on, hey, did we win this practice here? Did we get better today? Is really our mindset. So we look at it, John, is that we have 3 more weeks to get ready for that first game. And so are we where we want to be right now? No, because we got 3 more weeks to go until we get there, and we're anticipating ourselves getting better every single day. And that's been the players' motto, and my motto is like, hey, your rent's due. I know Jalen said that your rent's due every day, and when you pay your rent every day, you get better every day.
Go ahead, Zach, and then John McMullen.
Hey, Nick, not trying to read too much into results, but you speak a lot about situations, and third downs in both these preseason games have been a problem. That the defense hasn't done much stopping them. You guys haven't converted them. Is that a matter of game planning, that when you have plays installed, it's different, or is that an area where you think you need to, fix right now?
Both answers, yes. Right. We getting the game plan, when we go into game planning a little bit more for the season games, then yes, we'll get our guys in better positions, attacking the coverages that we want to attack. Same thing on the defense, attacking the protection schemes the way we want to protect them, and matching up their route concepts. But we also know that we're not good at it right now, right? We're going out there with our base calls against probably the team that we're playing's base calls, right? So our base calls without game planning so much, and their base calls without game planning so much, we're not winning. That's as simple as that. So we have made an emphasis. I think you guys saw when we were out at practice today the third down jamboree, and we've actually done that after both games, and we started that, and it's before that game too, that we're just trying to put an extra emphasis on it. And so, yeah, it's not where we want to be, and so again, the emphasis is on it during practice like it was today.
John and then Martin.
Nick, is there kind of a silver lining? You never want to lose your quarterback before a game, and you're not game planning. As you said, it was all base offense versus base defense. But is it a teachable moment to say, guys got to be ready, anything can happen? Did you kind of use that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, everybody's got to be. If you're a backup player, if you're a second team player, you're one snap away from going in the game, and you're one snap away from playing meaningful snaps. So I think that's definitely something that we talk about. Is it takes to be a good football team. It takes all 53, and it takes even more than that, right? So it takes the guys on the practice squad too. Because at some point, it's a long year. Some point, those guys might have to play as well. And so 100%, you preach that everyone's got to be ready. And even if you are on just the practice squad right away, you got to be ready to prepare the first teams and the second unit. So, yeah, definitely that was a good moment for us to be able to at least understand that and see that. Again, my message to them on everything is that what the preseason does is prepare you. There's all these little things that prepare you for the season. There's all these things that pop up in the season, pop up here. You play you don't play good enough. You got to bounce back and play good the next day. Shoot, you play good, just like we talked about, you have a good practice one day, you got to bounce back and play good the next day. So that's just one of the many lessons that come from training camp and preseason games.
Martin and then Rob Motti.
And kind of along those lines, I mean, a lot of your young guys, because you held out, your defensive line and some guys on the offensive line, got to go against the Patriots starters and everything. What's kind of the message to them? I mean, obviously they kind of had some rough moments and everything like that. What do you tell them?
Sure. I think the message is that you just grade every play, regardless of who they're playing against, right? And you grade every play with attempts to get better from that play. If they did their job well, you praise them for it and you let them know why they did it well. And if they didn't do their job well, you let them know about it and tell them why they didn't. And so that's just a form of accountability that we hold our players to and that we hold our coaches to as well. That every play and every game will be graded and graded hard. And what really the ultimate point of accountability is that we see it, we correct it, or we praise it, and we get better from it.
Rob and then Ed.
Hey, Nick, how much more emphasis or value do you put on what you're seeing out of guys in the joint practices when it comes down to roster decisions and competition and battles than you do out of what you see in the preseason games?
I think it's just another tool, right? And I think that we're all of them are being everything, even the practices that aren't joint practices are being evaluated, and meetings and how guys are working in meetings and thinking in meetings and how in walkthroughs. It's all just a tool. Some are weighted different than others, sure. I'm saying the practices and the preseason games and the joint practices are weighed a little heavier than a walkthrough, a lot heavier than that. But it's just another tool, and it's a good tool to have because the intensity, we think we practice pretty hard when we're out there. Regardless of the time that we're out there, we're getting after it when we're out there, and it's just another tool to have. It's just another tool to have to evaluate guys, and we just think it's more game like than a practice that it would be between the Eagles and Eagles.
Okay, we have time for two more, so we'll go to Ed and then Josh.
Yeah, hi, Nick. I wanted to ask you, how much collaboration or input does the front office have in determining who doesn't play in the preseason? And then conversely, how much input will you and your staff have next weekend when it comes time to putting this roster together?
Everything is a group effort. Everything is a group effort from, especially when we talk about who's going to make the roster. We all talk through everything. as far and that's the same thing. We talk through everything together of what we want to see, who we want to see play. I mean, because we all got to help make that decision. And this, both of those things are no different. We talk through everything, whether it's the draft, whether it's practicing and talking through all that stuff. But it's a group decision in everything that we do.
Last one here with Josh.
Hi, Nick. A few weeks ago, you and JG mentioned the emphasis on playing physical, emphasizing turnovers, punching the ball out in practices. We've obviously seen some of that. We saw that today. But how receptive do you think the defensive unit has been? And I also wanted to get your opinion on how you as a defensive back specifically, how you weigh the chance of wanting to emphasize turnovers while also staying grounded and sticking to your assignment and responsibility.
Sure. Yeah.
I guess the aggressiveness there, Nick. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think what you're seeing is I think Jonathan said to the defense yesterday, we need more strip attempts. So, and it is a fine line of what you're saying, like being fundamentally sound with keeping what Jonathan's going to say and his defensive staff say, keeping the cup. Right, and keeping them inside the cup while also getting a strip attempt. So one, it comes to keeping the cup first, and then get a strip attempt after you've kept the cup. So exactly what you're saying, because it's exactly what you're saying. Like if you just stress just taking the ball away or just punching at the ball, you could take yourself out of position. But the first thing that's stressed is keeping the cup, and then it's that strip attempt. So we need to continue to get those strip attempts. We didn't get quite as much as we wanted the other day. But what you are seeing, and I think what you're seeing is that we are getting one or two a game. Like I thought there was two out the other day. One was judged out, the other one wasn't. And then there was a two out the week before. I believe there was two out the week before. And so that's great. You get two out, you got a chance to get those. And on the other side, and I'm not saying this is going to be perfect throughout the year, but what you're seeing is the way the defense is with our offense. Like, yes, we have some interceptions, but the ball security, the fundamentals of ball security, and we had the snap that went over our head. But the fundamentals of ball security is paying off on the offense because we haven't got one out there yet. And that's what our goal is that, you get some out there for the defense and you don't get them out for the offense. And that's the habits that we create as we practice.
All right. Thanks for the time, Coach.
Thanks, guys.